All right, so we've had the Grom for a couple days now, and we do have a little bit of miles on it. Let's see, we've got 72 miles on it already, and it's burnt about a half tank of fuel. So this thing's doing awesome on fuel. It's been a lot of fun to ride, but there is something we're gonna be changing about it today, and that is these levers. I've got some new levers for it. That's our brake lever, and then our clutch. If you guys notice too on your engagement, it's very much way out here. So that's something I don't really care for about this bike. And that's going to be changed with our new product over here. These are the MZS Amazon specials. These are our new levers, which are black, which are going to look a whole lot nicer. And they're aluminum. They look great and they're adjustable. So that's going to be a whole another dimension to our adjustability with this bike. Make it operate the way that I want it to. There's a 10 millimeter bolt. I believe it's 10 mil top and bottom. Pretty simple. I think we might have to loosen our throttle cables a little bit just to get the bolt out of there, but pretty simple operation to get that removed. So let's swap it out. And just like that, it is removed. Very simple operation. I did loosen these off to kind of push them up out of the way, but it took about a minute, maybe not even, to get this out of here. So let's get our new one installed. And there it is. Our brake lever is installed. Check that out. So much nicer. And you can adjust it too. So if you do this, it brings it in even further. Or if you push it like that, it cams it out. So for me, I think all the way out is fine. That works. But with the clutch lever, we'll see where we end up with that one. So the clutch lever is out. We do have a little provision here in the bottom to get our cable out, and then this is the jam nut, and then I unscrew this all the way just to kind of get it out, and then I just put it back in because I'm thinking I could probably manipulate it a little bit better and just kind of slide it into that guy after I get our new one installed. But yeah, this is what the clutch lever looks like when it's out. And pretty easy actually to get that clutch lever installed. We have our adjustment right here so you can see how it moves it closer or further away, depending on what you want. And I think maybe right about there. I can play with it as we go. But got my adjustment back where I wanted it. And actually having this part in here, and then what I did is I hooked the cable on and then slid it over and then got the mounting bolt in. So then I didn't have to try to get the cable in while it was already here. I had that lever to actually help me do that, which was very, very easy. Worked awesome. So that's probably the way I would always do that. So I'm going to check my adjustment now, make sure we don't have to make any adjustments here, but I pretty much just put it back to where it was from the factory and tighten the jam nut. And we'll see how our clutch operates. First. All right, so kind of halfway, exactly where I'd want it. So I'll go for a ride with it a little bit later and see if I need to make any adjustments, but that can all be done on the fly right there. But as you can see, that's pretty well perfect, exactly where I'd want it. And for our second mod, we have a genuine Honda part. There's your part number right there. I got this directly from the dealership, and this is our Honda belly pan for the Grom. Kind of like a lower fairing, says Honda on either side. Looks really nice, kind of more like a black matte finish. But so far, I did a little bit of sub-assembly on here because I was just going to put this thing on and I wanted to watch a video on it and see how exactly people did it. And nobody had a video on the factory one. There was some aftermarket ones, but not this one. So here we go. We have this little honeycomb type deal right here. There's a metal tab which will be your threads, which is that guy right down there. It's going to slide onto this piece, and then this all kind of clips together. You can see back here, there's little clips and tabs, make sure they're all lined up properly. And then we put this bolt in, everything clips together, and that bolt holds it. So now we have our brackets. There's an arrow on this one, obviously pointing forward, and they're different widths. So I assume that this is the rear one. And then this one can probably go either way. I'm going to have to look at the bike. see exactly how that's going to go on there. But we do have this guy here, and we do have 2 more bolts here and 4 bolts here, and then we have grommets. We have 1 grommet like that, and then we have the ones I put the inserts in like that. So we have 3 of those. So let's get this all sorted out, and we'll figure out exactly how this all goes and show you guys how to install this thing. So next up, I put all of our rubber grommets in the sides on either side here, just on these holes. There's just a little groove. You just kind of got to work them in there. And then you will have 3 inserts, and this part of the bracket will act as your insert on one of them. So you only need 3 from what I can see so far. So let's go over to the bike and see where all these brackets are going to bolt on. So now over here on the bike, you see we do have these guards. There's one on either side of the engine. I've got my socket on the 8mm that holds that. We're going to take them off both sides. And there those are. There's the one for the left, or this is the left side right here, and this is the right side. And then our 8mm right here, which we're going to reuse. And then we're going to put this bracket on, which already has these guards incorporated on it. So you're going to want to orientate it so you have the one with this little provision on to the right hand side of the bike. All right, so now you can see we do have our bracket in place. Everything is nice and tight on that one. And now we're going to take the rear one. See our arrow pointing forward. I believe it goes up like this. So you want to make sure your arrow is still pointing forward, and then it's going to go to the 2 bolt holes on the bottom of the engine. They're pretty easy to find, and we'll get this guy installed as well. So they do give you a new exhaust gasket in the kit, but what I did is I actually just took the mounting bolts off. There's one on the back that has a bolt washer nut, and then there's this one right here, which is right down there. So we got all those off, and it has dropped this a bit, so we should be able to get our left-hand bolt for our rear bracket in. It is in the way otherwise. So one thing though too to check is the bolts where it goes into the head. My left side was loose right from the factory, so make sure that those are tight. So now we got our brackets in place, and we're almost ready to put our fairing where it needs to be. Just need to put our exhaust bolts back in, and we're ready to test fit. So now in our rubber grommets, we have our inserts, and you want to put one on the top left and one on the bottom left, and then you want one just on the bottom right, because on our bracket, it already has it built into it. So we're going to put that one on first, and then kind of line up all of our bolts and see how this thing looks. And here's the big reveal. Oh yes, you definitely notice the difference with that lower belly pan. And I would not want the bike without it. It just really kind of completes that whole bottom section of the bike. See how that kind of has like a little bit of an air scoop now. And I think it just had to have this. Like it's perfect. $400 from the dealership, you really can't go wrong. Next up, I did another mod here on our handlebar. So this is just a ball mount for a handlebar. It comes with all these different adapters, 4 different sizes, comes with the Allen key and everything like that. Because if you guys saw, I have my Ram mount, and I just kind of put it right here on the mirror, but this mirror is not going to be here very long because that's going to bring us into our next thing. But yes, we're going to put the mount down here. It just goes around the handlebar, tightens up nice and tight. And then we can put this connector to that ball, and then it goes to the ball on the Ram mount, and then we have a place for our phone, and it'll be easy to see and out of the way, not gonna hit on anything, and I think it'll be a good spot for it. And it looks a little bit like that, and I think that's gonna be a good spot for it. I can always adjust it later. It's pretty easy with the tab here on the bottom. You just unscrew this, and you can angle it whatever which way you want to. But I'm gonna try the Ram mount out. It is something that I already had, so figured I'd give it a go. I know there's a lot of the phone case ones. I think Rockform has one, and Quad Lock as well. But we'll see how this works out because, well, I already had it, so you might as well put it on the bike. So next up, we're going to be changing up the big Mickey Mouse ears on the bike. I really don't like the way they look. They stick up so high that it makes the bike look a lot smaller. And, well, I mean, obviously the bike is small, but you don't want it to be really noticeable. And I think that really is one of the things that needed to be changed. So I got these here. So you're going to have a little bit wider field of view. And then it's all aluminum too, construction. Everything looks pretty good. And they're fairly inexpensive. Another Amazon purchase. These are the same brand, the MZS, as our levers, because I got these as a package deal. They did have that option when I bought those, so I got these as well. And we'll get these on and see how they look. And look at that. Big ugly mirrors are gone. I'm actually going to get the little plugs that go in here. I was thinking maybe putting like a GoPro mount or something on there as well, but guess we shall see what the future holds. But that looks a whole lot cleaner with our new bar end mirrors. And it did come with these guys right here. And there's like a little notch taken out of there. I don't know if it's for a certain type of bar end, but instead of using these spacers, what I did is I just used the factory like little stopper here that's on the end. And then this little sleeve just kind of goes over top of it. And it worked out really well. Everything's really nice construction, pretty sturdy. And we'll sit on the bike here, kind of give you guys a view. I turned my ram mount sideways too, because when I put my phone in here, then it's basically like I have my screen for my phone, and then I can see the full gauge cluster, and it's not in the way of the fuel door. You can see a lot better with these because they do give you that bigger field of view rather than just the flat mirrors that were sitting up here. So I'll take it for a ride, and probably later on tomorrow, and make sure that everything is exactly where I want it. And I can adjust as I need to. But there's only one more thing to do. So next up, we are going to be fixing the biggest gripe I have about the Grom, and that is this seat. It is super hard, rigid. I mean, it's brand new. This bike only has about 73 miles on it. It's wide enough, everything like that, but it's just so hard. And even just riding for about 30-mile ride, you're gonna feel how uncomfortable that seat is. So we have something to fix that. And there it is, our Cheeky Seats cover for our seat. And I got the extra padding in this one, so it does have extra cushioning in there for us. This is what the inside looks like. This is their branding tag right there. These are actually made about 40 minutes from where I live. So handmade, made to order, pick your color, pick your design, pick the color you're stitching, all that. Many, many options on their site. You can see the sides here is like a carbon fiber looking material. So it should look really cool on the seat. And all you got to do is pull the seat off and stretch this over top, cinch it down, and you're done. So I have the seat nicely loosened off here. Pretty easy to do. Stick your key in that little hole, turn it, lift up on the back, and it pulls back just like so. And I'm going to need two hands for this. So I'm going to remove this tag, get it all put where it needs to be, and show you guys the final result. And there it is, and what a difference in the look alone. And this is nice fabric material, so it shouldn't get really hot like the vinyl does. And it does have a couple little wrinkles that just need to, I guess, smooth out as it heats up and everything like that. All seat covers are always like that. But it's all tightened up on there. My passenger strap is underneath there still. I could have taken it off, or I could have put it back over top of this, but I thought it looked better just kind of the way it is. I don't ride with passengers on here anyway, so yeah, I think that looks really, really nice. Drop in the comments, what do you guys think of our upgrades so far? Here's a little closer look of that Recaro. It's just kind of, it's there, but it's not like crazy in your face. I've seen some of the Bride ones you can get, and I'm not really a big fan of them. I think the black and the white really works well on this bike. And then you can see how, you know, everything comes together with the gloss black, a little bit of matte, it matches the wheels. We got the nice sleek mirrors on here now. We have our functionality with our phone mount, and this bike's really coming together. And now the sit test. Oh yes, that is a world of a difference. I'm very glad I got the extra foam because it's still firm, but it's not like super rock hard like it used to be. And yeah, the first ride is definitely going to tell us exactly how much better it is, but so far I am really liking the way this bike is turning out. One thing for sure I need to do, and I think all bike shops should have, is key tags. Have a key tag for your business on there, and probably wouldn't even take it off. This one has kind of this gel type thing. I mean, I had really good service over at Lancaster Honda, but I'm not really a big fan of this keychain. I think we're going to have to do something about that. But that gives us an opportunity to get a custom one, and I'm going to Bike Week in Ocean City, so we're probably going to have an opportunity to buy one there for sure. So there it is, everybody, our 2025 Honda Grom modified and I think very tastefully done. And we have all the things that we need. We have a little bit of extra and everything looks very clean. And the bike just looks so much better in my opinion. Definitely drop in the comments. What do you guys think of our mods? Is there anything that I should do to this bike yet? Or is this like the perfect package for starting out with one of these? I know we got to do something about the fender, and that is on the way. So don't worry, we're not keeping that. That's nasty, and that's really gonna make the back of the bike look good. But I think we've got a very good start here, and if you guys are at Ocean City Bike Week, hope to see you out there.